Any self-respecting real estate investor will tell you that buying foreclosed homes is a great way to save some money on your first or 10th investment property. But how can you find homes that are going up for foreclosure and get involved in the auctions before it's too late and you're just hearing about it from somebody else? One great way is to go online and search for foreclosure auction houses. So sometimes, so who has foreclosures, right? First, there are the banks, and every bank, pretty much every bank that does loans, has some page on their website that is going to tell you what properties they have going up for foreclosure. For example, if you type in Bank of America foreclosures, you're going to be directed to their page, and it's going to show you what properties they have coming up. But you'll also notice on the Bank of America page that they are giving those listings for the foreclosures to a specific real estate agent. And you're going to need to contact that agent. So it's not like you're going to the bank to get a direct connect with the bank. Some banks don't do that. Some banks sell the listings themselves. And that's where you can really benefit from checking out their websites. And some of them have a mailing list. Some other places that you should definitely check into are auction houses, because even if they're not going with a real estate agent and it's on the multiple listing service, which is MLS, then you can find them with the actual auctioneers who are going to be conducting those sales. So for example, auction.com is a good place to start, and you put in the area that you're looking for, and they'll tell you what auctions are coming up. They'll also email you with whatever areas you're interested in. You might know that most mortgage loans are backed by the federal government, either by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and they have their own websites where they list foreclosed properties or properties that have been bought back, because that's what happens. So there's the pre-foreclosure, when the owner still has a chance to pay off the loan or get caught up on the loan and keep the property. Then there's the actual foreclosure auction. But a lot of times what happens with the foreclosure auction is the bank will set what they call a reserve. And that reserve is the minimum amount that they'll take, which is normally the loan amount. So if I owe $250,000 on a property and it goes up for auction and the highest bidder will only pay $195,000, basically the bank buys it back from itself and for that $250,000. And then it becomes an REO, a real estate owned, which is what lenders call a property that they've purchased back at a real estate auction. So you can basically find the property in any of those three categories, but it's pre-foreclosure, which is a category that Zillow likes to talk about, is a little bit tricky because you're trying to locate the owner and you're trying to negotiate with them when they don't want to talk to anybody because they're dodging the calls of their lender a lot of times. So that's not always the easiest way. And then foreclosure auctions, those, like I said, you can go to the auctioneer, sign up for the auctioneer's websites. You can also look in your local paper, because there has to be given notice. If they're going to foreclose on somebody, that has to be given public notice. So you can just check out your newspaper and see when you see these, like they're like sometimes a half-page thing that says official notice, right? It's a big deal. The other thing is that your county clerk or your registry of deeds will often have the information. But once they become an REO, in some cases, it can be even easier to negotiate because that reserve is gone, basically. The bank no longer has to meet its reserve because it probably used some kind of insurance or something to pay off the loan. And now it's just got the real estate and they want to unload it. And of course, another great way to learn about what's coming on for REO and foreclosed and potentially even pre-foreclosure properties is to have a really good real estate agent who gets it, who understands this whole process, who's bought some foreclosure auctions before, and potentially may even have a seller who's going through, getting ready to do a short sale procedure, which we can talk about in a future episode, which can also help you buy the home at a discount. So you can network with those people. You can also go to real estate investor networks. They oftentimes know that somebody or other is looking to sell a property that they're willing to take either a loss or not make a huge amount of money. Another thing you can do is just to drive through neighborhoods that may have people who are in distress. So typically low income owners are the ones who are going to have problems before everybody else. So if you drive through some areas where the homes are slightly less expensive, and maybe this is where your working class people would be living, and if someone has lost their job, they might have been living paycheck to paycheck and may now have to potentially move out or sell their home. You can look for the signs, homes that are not being maintained, homes that look like they're falling into disrepair. Maybe it looks like nobody's living there. And then you can either knock on the door if you're not a real estate agent, because I think it's kind of icky for real estate agents to do it. But if you don't have your real estate license, just knock on the door and say, hey, friend, can I help you out? Right? I buy homes that are distressed. It looks like your home might be having a little distress here. And let's talk about a way that we can help each other. You can also write them a letter. You can write them a nice card or a letter. You can find the owner's information on the town or city's website. Go into the tax assessor database. You can find the information there. You can also find it on the county's registry of deeds website. Those are the main ways that you're going to be able to discover foreclosed properties. I will put some links for you in the show notes with some websites you can try. Maybe you'll find one that you like or that has a lot of properties in your area. I don't feel like all of the sites are created equally when it comes to a specific area. So you might find one that has a lot of listings in your area, and another person who lives in another part of the country might hate that website because it doesn't have anything in their area. So you just shop around, use the various links, and then discover some links of your own just by Googling things like online or home auctions, home auctioneers, real estate auction houses, things like that. And you can find some potentially that operate in your area. If you want to talk more about this, I would love to talk to you. I love real estate investing and everything associated with it. So give me a call, write me, send me a message on here. In the meantime, have a great week, and you can chat with me. You know what? I'm getting ready to go on vacation. I'm getting ready to go on a fantastic cruise, if you hadn't already heard about this on a previous episode, for my 60th birthday celebration. So the celebration has begun. It began July 1st. That was the first day of the 13-month 60th birthday celebration. Yay. And I've so far been spending it going to fireworks almost every single night. But at the middle of the month, actually, I'm leaving for a cruise, and it's going to be awesome. So I might not respond to you very quickly. That's why I'm telling you this, not to make you jealous, not to make you feel like, oh, how come she didn't invite me? No, I'm only telling you this because I might not respond that quickly if I'm out and about and floating around the Greek islands. But don't give up. I will 100% reply to you, and I definitely want to help you through this purchase of your first foreclosure. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful month of July, and I'll see you next week. In the meantime, create some wealth.